She is a wonderful friend that I've met actually it was just January. How crazy is that? And she's become a legacy builder of her seat at the table. Today, this session is all about power. Power to protect your energy, your voice, and your well-being. And with Laura, what you've witnessed, actually, you haven't witnessed it yet because we have to watch this little video. So Simon, if you can play this video, please, is Laura in action. That's Laura Armstrong. There was another video she shared with me, but there was a lot more curse words in there. So I thought I should keep the clean one. But what you need to know about Laura is she is a 3-time world champion wrestler. So don't mess with her. And you can't mess with me either because she's got my back. And Laura brings over 30 years of martial arts training, energy mastering, and leadership coaching into everything she does. Her approach is grounded, it's fierce, and it's transformative. So through her work, Laura teaches us how to stand firm, set boundaries, and lead with alignment, especially in spaces where we're told to shrink. So my friends, are we ready to self-defense your wellness? Yeah, Laura? All yours.
Oh, thanks. So I won't make you do that. It's all good. I'm excited to talk today. You know, I've been speaking for a long time, and my world championship titles are in full contact weapons fighting, and it's pretty intense. And I've seen the journey of people right from knowing nothing to being the best in the world at what they do. And that journey has a lot of pain, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, a lot of growth. But you're already doing that every day. It's just on a different level. And so today I want to move you from fear to fierce and reclaim your power and your space. And I've always wanted to talk about empowerment, self-defense on stage. And I've never done it before. This is the first time. So yeah, give me a hand. Like, I'm out there, right? So I want to, it's going to be a little bit interactive. We're going to have a good time. You know, I've got 20 minutes with you, which is great. And I want to ask you a question. Have you ever felt like everyone looks through you and you're not feeling seen or heard? Sometime in your life, when you were little maybe, yeah. Or that it makes you feel like you want to scream so loud and no sound comes out and nobody hears you? Yeah, right? Kind of like you're on mute on Zoom and nobody tells you. Has that ever happened? Yeah, right. This is what it can feel like when we don't understand our boundaries or our power and how to express what we want so that we feel safe. Because feeling safe is at the core of enjoying life to the fullest. Has anyone here felt unsafe at any point in their life? Yeah, right? So we can't always control our environments, especially when we're young. It's basically the human version of putting a do not disturb sign up and everyone ignoring it completely. Kind of like when you were younger and in your room was like your safe space. Does anybody remember that? Where you had all your dreams, you had your diary, you had the like skull and crossbones on your door, like do not come in or you will die. And you had those posters of your favorite rock bands or the teen idols that you loved. That was my favorite place. And then your sister and your parents walk right through the door like it doesn't even exist. They burst in, taking the she cave you had created at 11 years old. So for me, I was always the fat kid in school, and I was always bullied. Always, since I can remember. And back then, in the old days, they didn't have discipline, they didn't have procedures, they didn't have ways of having mental health conversations or what was going on. There was none of that. So you either lived or you shrunk, and I was not going to shrink. So you had to learn to have a sharp tongue, just kind of like those Ginsu knives, on TV. Has anybody seen those? Yeah. And you had to stand out, and you had to create space for yourself, right? And that was what it was about. Man, I just wrote this 2 days ago, and I'm doing pretty damn good, if I have to say this. So I realized at a very young age that no one was going to create that space for me but me. And I had this resilience from my parents, though, they weren't perfect by any means, but it was always like, Laura, get your ass out there. They didn't say ass to an 11-year-old, but get out there and create the space that you want in the world. So every time I got bullied, it was one of two reactions. I never backed down. So they wouldn't know what to do with me. They didn't know what, they were expecting me just to take it so they could continue. Well, no, that's not going to happen. And those people who became perpetual bullies, their lives are not so great today. And I know that for a fact. So let's step into the power of forgiveness for ourselves and for the people around us, okay? So today I'm going to invite you to spend some time with me so that you can step more into your own power. By the end of our 20 minutes together, you will be different in a good way, all right? My goal here is to make you truly unstoppable. Because when you're doing that, you can not only change yourself, but you can change the impact that you're making in the world. And I know that you are all here for that reason, to take care of yourselves so that you can take care of others and do what you need to do when you're on this earth. I mean, don't the Miss America candidates always say, it's all about world peace, right? And that's what we're aiming for. So today I'm going to offer you the 5 principles of self-defense, and I want to put the screen up in the back. I'm going to give them to you. Oh, you've got the clicker? Oh, God, you're good. These principles, when applied, they can change your life. And isn't it time that you had the courage to step out and say what you really feel and own who you are? And those are the things that I want to go through today. I mean, Wonder Woman didn't ask for permission to go out and kick ass, right? She just went and did it. She had the head, she had the whip, she had the whole situation. And that's you. You are your own Wonder Woman. So let's talk about our first principle, think. To use your head, but not just use your head and think, to use your intuition. Now, women have, sorry guys, I mean, you're in there, but women have this special thing where they're tuned in. They have this intuition where they know something. They know it and they feel it at the same time. Does anybody have that feeling? Yeah. How many times have you ignored that baby? Yeah? Did anything good happen? Probably not, right? Speaking from myself because I'm so stubborn, right? So think is intuition, but it's also making a plan. Making a plan about everything. In a day, you probably make 800 plans. Where am I going for dinner tonight? What am I doing after this event? Do I need to go to the bathroom? Like all these things are going through your head. So in the self-defense world, making a plan means you're watching what's going on around you. You have awareness. And when things are in your awareness, your points of view about those things change. Now, when we think about empowerment self-defense, and we get into situations where we can't control what's going on, and we're thinking about our plan, we do one of 3 things. We fight, we have flight, and we also freeze. Usually one of those 3 things is what happens. Because when you're under such extreme stress, the body gets adrenalized, and it's rushing through your system. Has anybody had that adrenalized feeling before, right? Yeah. And you're just not sure what you should be doing. So when we work on this stuff and we use our think principle, we bypass that by automatically going into creating a plan. What do I need to do to follow my intuition and keep myself safe? Very important principle. Next one is yell, one of my favorites. I mean, I was the troublemaker child of my mom. So my mom's way of disciplining us was if she yelled louder, we'd do more stuff, right? Like it was old school. And so, you know, it wasn't the best communication, but it's how we work. I mean, I was my mom's biggest nightmare. I mean, I would show up after dark because I was out playing with the kids. Like the cops are roaming around the neighborhood. You know, I would get in trouble constantly. So yelling became a way for me to communicate with my parents to know that I was safe, because we didn't have cell phones back then. I mean, it was in the Stone Age. I mean, let's just be real. So there are 3 reasons that we yell in self-defense and use our voice. The first one is to generate ear witnesses, not just eyewitnesses, but ear witnesses. People who can hear us can find us, okay? The second is to generate power. When you use your voice, you generate power. Anybody guess what the third is? To breathe. Right? To breathe. We all need to breathe. Now, I want to do a little exercise together. This is called the A to Z exercise. Everyone's going to participate. I know you'll hate it, but I love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say the alphabet A to Z. A is super quiet. By the time we get to Z, the windows are going to shake. Okay? It's uncomfortable for a few reasons for people to use their voice. First of all, they're not all the time used to hearing it at a louder decibel. Or maybe they're not used to being seen or heard. And thirdly, maybe you've been shut down one too many times. And that stops today. All right? Everybody ready for the A to Z? I'll start it off. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z! All right, give yourselves a hand. That was awesome. How do you feel? Is your energy higher? There's something around having a voice and having a shared voice. There's so much power in that. Now, don't go home and yell at people and do A to Z. And certainly don't teach your kids that, because then you're going to have problems. So the third principle is our run principle. And this is the number one thing when I teach. If you can get away, get away. Do not wait around. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we're forced to deal with situations and respond. And so if you can't immediately leave the situation that's a little bit volatile, you want to like stay calm and carry on. You know that little logo with the crown? That's what you want to do. So the goal here is for you not to react but respond, which is a very different thing. So you're going to keep your body relaxed. You're going to keep your voice calm. You're not going to instigate the other person. And this is PG today, so I can't swear, but it's like, you're an idiot, right? Like, that's not helping, right? So the run principle, you're definitely going to have a problem now, and that's going to escalate to fight, and that's just not going to be good, right? So respond in a calm and reasonable tone, okay? And what happens is that when you do, you start to breathe again instead of holding your breath. And we're going to breathe. Everybody ready? Breathe in and out. I might feel awesome after that sound bath, right? So now what happens is you are creating space in the situation. Now you can deal with what's going on. This person may still be jacked up here, but you are the grounding tool that allows for the opening for you to get away. So the other way you can do is distraction. You know, I don't know if anybody saw that movie, Shang-Li and the 5 Rings or whatever it was called. Yeah. So you know how the girl yells out Hotel California to distract people before she gets killed? Like something like that. Because what happens when that happens is it's a pattern disrupt. It's a pattern disrupt cognitively. They lose their train of thought. Then you have the ability to reset what's going on so that you can create a safe space. All right, good. This is my favorite one. So at the beginning, you saw me do a fight. It was a very short fight. Those are unscripted, by the way. And those are full contact padded instructor trainings that I do. I also teach that. And believe me, you are adrenalized when you're going after that person because they're fully padded. You're not going to hurt them. So you do not hold back. Okay? So fight can mean exactly that. It can mean physical resistance or, you know, using your body against vulnerable targets, using the hard or the sharp parts of your body. What's a sharp part of your body? Anybody? Elbow. What else? Knees. Anything else? Hands. Brain. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. Right? So sometimes there's no choice to either have a physical or verbal confrontation. But again, keep your center, right? You don't want to go into that fight or flight mode or the freeze mode where you just get trapped. So fighting can be empowering, but also a way to realize that we don't need to go from 0 to 60 in like less than 2 seconds. Who's got a triggered temper here? It's okay. I'm with you. I'm in that club. Okay. I use the 3 R's. My first R is reflect. And I actually do this when this happens. I've trained my brain. So it's what happened and what can happen. That's my reflect. Then I reassess. What can change here? What can I do? And then the third one is respond. What will I do? What will happen here? Because I'm in control of what's going on. I'm in control of the situation. And our last principle, and the most important one in my eyes, is tell. So to heal and share in a safe space with someone you trust to support you. You know, there are so many causes of disease, mental, physical, and other ailments that could have been avoided or may have been avoided or at least lessened if we had told, if we had the wherewithal to tell someone what happened, so we didn't have to bury it inside, so we didn't have to live with it, so we didn't have to be alone. It's kind of like when your sibling starts a fight with you and then calls for mom and says that you're beating them up and you get in trouble and you didn't even do anything. Has anyone had that? My sister? Yeah, she's a nightmare, right? She's still a nightmare. So I remember, I'll tell you about this one incident because we've got some time here. My father-in-law on my sister's side, we went out to dinner and he was sitting, and he was an older Italian man and he was very gropey. I kind of avoided him. And we were all having cocktails and he came up to me, put his arm around me, and he grabbed my breast. And like not even trying to hide it, right? Like, you know, on him, are you kidding me? So I push him away. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, sorry. So I go to my mom, who, by the way, is a gaslighter. And I say, Mom, Nico grabbed my boob. She goes, well, why are you standing right beside him? I mean, like, what did you think would happen? Right? I learned my lesson pretty quick there. So I remember that. So when you're looking for a reaction from someone and you don't get it, look elsewhere. Don't go back to that person. You cannot trust them. And not like they suck, but you just know that that's not going to be a person who's support for you. Find the next person or find the next person after that, okay? Getting out what has gone on will allow you to process so you can move forward and not hold on to things that can fester and have bad consequences down the road, forget it. Telling is actually empowering so that you can stand in your power and set your boundaries. So we've gone over all the 5 principles here. Think, yell, run, fight, tell. Now, Now is the time, today, not after this conference, right now, to take these insights that you've just learned and put them into your life. Now, remember that fat kid I told you about at the beginning? She's a powerhouse. She doesn't put up with people's bullshit, and she stands in her own power. And by the way, I'm talking about all of you. My wish for you is to understand that now is the time for you to stand up, stand in your power, own who you are, and don't make excuses to anybody. Because you're the one who has to look in the mirror every single day and own your greatness. Thank you.